I'm just so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Got perfect hair, perfect smile,
Right.
just everything.
All right, here's your shot. All right.
Okay.
Just going to have any pesky blue squares in the back of everything. All right, cool. I'm gonna actually tilt that. Oopsie, tilt that down a little bit. A little less heavy. There. Yeah. All right, that's your shot. Cool. So I just lowered it a bit.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, just
Yeah, where are you gonna be sitting?
I'm gonna be over here. Hi. How are you? All right. So, I'm gonna ask you first as an animator, just straight up, and then as a student. So, just as an animator, why are you excited for this project?
Okay. I gotta think about this. I think it as like an animator, the reason why I'd probably be most excited is to be able to be expanding on like my skills and everything, and really trying out like new software, getting new types of like rigging and models, and just really pushing my skills even further than they currently are right now.
Okay. So as a student, and like how it looks great on a resume and all the opportunities this gives you, try from that angle.
Okay. From like the student angle
Yeah.
of that? Like why I'd be excited?
Yes, sure.
From the, I guess like for being, at least with a student, I'd probably be super excited because it does look good on a resume to be like, hey, I did this little clip here, I did this TV show, like it was an actual thing, I worked with a bunch of people, because then they see that you also get kind of real world experiences because you did have to deal with a bunch of different people, and then if you do have like a certain type of role, like if you're a lead or if you're in charge of a group, then they can see like, oh, this person has leadership skills, or they're able to deal with this, and they're used to then having deadlines and whatnot. And I think it helps people prepare then for the real world. It's kind of like, here's the baby step to the real world, and then it's like, real world! Mm-hmm. So it's like another it's a good building and or like stepping stone to kind of get into like the real world.
For just so we have for all this, name and what your position is on the show.
I'm lead animator, right?
Huh?
Is that my position? Lead animator? Okay. I wanted to make sure. Okay, my name is Maureen Basista, and I am the lead animator.
Cool. Now, how did you get involved? Like, talk about Ron and how awesome he is.
Well, I haven't known Ron that long, but this year I've probably known him a little bit better just because I do have a class with him now. But we said...
Stop you for a second. Could you, like, when you say, like, Ron, also mention that he's the animation director?
Okay.
Yeah. And of Star Trek. We want to plug the name as much as possible.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, go ahead.
Keep on rambling?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Ron, who's the animation director, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Star Trip.
Let's start that over. It's okay. It's alright. It's magic power of editing. See?
Yeah. Ron, who's the animation director of Star Trip, I met him probably my freshman year, but I haven't seen him really that much since then, and now that I do have a class with him, I've been able to kind of sit down and talk with him more, and he came to me one day, he's like, hey, I have a position for you, let's sit down, I'll look through your demo reel, and we can just talk it over. And we sat, he looked through my stuff, we just talked about a bunch of things that I can not only, like, push myself to work on even before this whole rendition starts up, but that he had a lot of faith in me, and he's like, I know from your acting background and other backgrounds that you are going to do well in this, and he has a lot of confidence in all the people he's chosen, and not just me as the animation lead.
Cool. Let's see. Trying to think for the next one. Have you met the other people in the animation department yet?
I personally haven't met anyone else that I think that's on the animation team for Star Trip. I know Ben, who's in my class currently, and he's actually the director for my C3 class, which is awesome. So I do know him, but besides that, I don't think I've met anyone except Matt Sandoval, I believe, who's doing modeling.
Mm-hmm.
I've met him.
Wiggle the mouse.
Jiggle the mouse.
Yeah.
I've met him because he's also in my C3 class, but this is only the first year. I think I've had either Ben or Matt at all, but so I only know them. I haven't been informed of really anybody else. I guess it's on the animation side of Star Trip.
Okay. Yeah, what we're gonna try to do, like I know the finals are like for everybody and all that, but if we can, I'm gonna talk to Ron about seeing if we can get the entire animation team
Just have like a mini
to
powwow.
like have lunch or something. You know, like we all get dinner at Van or something.
Somewhere.
You know, and
Somewhere.
somewhere, yeah, and just so everybody sees each other,
Yeah.
and we're like, yeah, how's it going? What are you doing? I'm doing this. That's so awesome. So,
Then you can kind of get a feel then for everybody who's on the team instead of just meeting them probably in production then.
yeah, exactly. We want everybody to know each other.
Yeah, before production.
Yeah.
Because that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Why did you get into animation then? So, yeah, and just direct it at me, so like try
Yeah.
to look into the camera.
Stare into the soul. For me, and how do you phrase this? The reason why I decided to do animation was actually because of a super close friend of mine who's been my friend since second grade in grade school, and this is probably the first year we haven't gone to school together, or at least in college because she's down in Florida. But she decided to be an animation major, and she got me thinking about it. And I decided my junior year of high school that, you know what, I think I kind of want to do this. Literally after my finals in my junior year, I went to my counselor and I told her, I'm like, hey, I want to be majoring in animation. So we sat for like an hour and talked about it, and I ended up in Edinburgh mainly because of expenses, because it is very inexpensive compared to most of the art colleges or animation colleges that actually have a good reputation for animation. So Edinburgh is very well priced for this major, plus they have an amazing track record and the professors care about us a ton. And they always keep on pushing you to do better, like hone your skills, and they're always there to like listen to you. If you have any issues, they'll sit down and talk with you. So for me, that was kind of the major reason why I got into animation, and I'm super happy to be a part of it. I mean, I could say like I love Disney, I like Pixar, I mean I enjoy watching all that stuff, and as much as that'd be a huge dream probably for most animators, it's like I want to work for Disney, I want to work for Pixar. I just kind of want to work as an animator. I don't really care who I work for, and then possibly open up my own studio when I get more experience and get a couple more ties in the companies and studios and whatnot.
Cool. So, what's a, for, this show, for this show,
Star Trip.
yes, Star Trip,
Star Trip.
we, we want money. And, yeah, well, I mean, that's like largely, this is for Nico.
Money. Just sell.
Yeah, is this like, is Star Trek like, because a lot of people get into animation because like they love Star Wars or something, or Pixar or Disney, and they're like, I want to make spaceships, or I want to blow stuff up, or I want to make lightsabers, or laser swords, trademarks.
I want to do this.
Yeah, could you perhaps, would you say something along the lines of, I think, like, say something along the lines of one reason why people are so excited to be a part of this show is because it's the kind of project that a lot of people go into filmmaking or animation for. We've got spaceships and aliens and blaster guns and hilarious characters and probably droids or whatever. So just one of those like I think one reason why people are so on board with this
We're
is because
excited.
it's what they want to do. You know, it's why they got started. It's got everything. You know.
Yeah.
So, excited. Cool stuff.
Excited.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely a big major selling point for Star Trip for anyone who's on the team and who got graciously accepted to be on this amazing group and team is because it has pretty much anything and everything. Like, the sky's kind of the limit with what is going to happen in this. I mean, there's so many different types of creatures and characters and atmosphere and different, planets. So it's pretty much like anything you can pretty much do is right there at your fingertips. And there's spaceships and there's, laser swords or lightsabers or whatever you want to call them. And there's, all different types of weapons. And just that in general gives, I guess, animators mainly, but just everyone working on it, just pretty much the ability to do kind of everything and anything. Like, this has everything that we can do. And there aren't like, oh, it has to be humanoid, it has to do this or that. It's,
Mm-hmm. And then to tag on to that, also to say, like, and with this being a great animation opportunity, the story is also hilarious. And with that, it's going to be a wonderful vehicle to showcase our work because it's going to be like a story with characters that we're going to be interested in, that like we get to make awesome. So like, so you know how Hanjo talks about the story.
Yeah.
Like basically, play that up as like this show's gonna be hilarious and awesome and good, and that's one of the greatest things about being a part of it is that we're gonna like watching this.
Yeah, it's gonna be enjoyable.
And not just because like we know people who are in it, but because it's actually gonna be good. Like we're not just trying to have this be. The first goal isn't for this to be a learning experience. We're going to learn a lot, but we already know our stuff enough to make something good.
Yeah.
So just that.
Yeah, so even though this is such a huge opportunity just for animators and for everybody, there is a great storyline behind it, and it's going to be funny and hilarious, and we pretty much have just this amazing little storyline that, I don't know what to say, I totally blanked on a second.
That
has a bunch of amazing, quirky characters, and we can pretty much, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, yeah, we'll say like twists and turns, keeps you guessing, and
enjoyable to watch.
Lots of laughs, that kind of thing. It's like, I know, like, land on enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just like things I can cut to B-roll.
Yeah.
So I can change what you're saying to say stuff like Hail Hydra, and it's awesome.
There's a bunch of twists and turns in the storyline, and hold on.
It's hilarious. It's a funny show. Ridiculous stuff happens in space.
I mean, it's in space. There's tons of ridiculous stuff that's gonna happen there. I mean, they go to tons of different planets, meet tons of different creatures there, and just mayhem ensues. And it's going to be so much fun, not only to work on, but also to watch in the end. It's just going to be an enjoyable ride through the atmosphere and through space.
Awesome. That's perfect.